So welcome to video number 7. We're going to be using the first productivity tool, which is Wunderlist. And Wunderlist is free unless you have the business version and you want to assign certain tasks to your virtual assistant or your assistant and so forth. But other than that, what I want to do first and foremost is to talk about Wunderlist before we actually jump right in and show you the actual tool, so that you know and you're aware of what's available for you and how you can utilize what we just taught and apply that to this tool. So first and foremost, you can go to wunderlist.com/download to get access to this tool. So what I want to do now is just talk about the features. Now, what we really like about Wunderlist is its ability to create to-do lists. And not only that, you can actually have conversations that are within each list and each list item, and that allows you to collaborate with your team. You can also set due dates and reminders, and the nice thing about that is that you can actually notify by email, get notified via iPhone or Android or smartphone app as well. And that's really convenient, because if you're moving around in different places, you're not going to really remember a lot of times when things are due. So to have that in hand and it'll say this is due, that's really convenient. And it also allows push notifications via email or in-app notifications as well. You can also add anything from the web straight into Wunderlist by adding a browser extension on your mobile app or browser with just one click of a button. So it's kind of like Evernote in that sense that you can have a plugin and add things into Wunderlist. And you can also email me at wunderlist.com. That's me at wunderlist.com. When you have things set up and you have your email set up in your account, whenever you email me at wunderlist.com, you can actually forward an email from somebody else into Wunderlist. So as you know, a lot of times you tend to have emails where somebody says, I need this done or I need that done. A lot of times we don't have time to jot things down. So being able to email Wunderlist at me at wunderlist.com, once you have things set up, and it'll import it straight into your account, that is where your email is added and your username is attached to that email. That's actually going to make your life a lot easier. Now, other sites that have add to Wunderlist built in are Google Mails, Amazon, eBay, Twitter, YouTube, and Wikipedia and IMDb. So the nice thing about that is it allows you to integrate what you're using in your day-to-day lives into Wunderlist. And Wunderlist is growing and it's really big, and it's getting to a point where it's getting integrated into all sorts of platforms, which just makes life easier for you in the long haul. You can also create what we call public lists, where you can view others' public lists, or you can also share your own list to the world. But most likely you're going to want to make sure that that list is private, especially if it's your personal, business, or career list. Now, the nice thing about it is you can also share with other people, and even if they don't have a Wunderlist account, you can also share with them as well. It has a real-time sync that allows you to collaborate more seamlessly, converse with everybody, add notes. You can share lists by email and more. And as far as pricing goes, I would highly recommend that you start out with a free version. That way you can get more acquainted with it, and as you feel like, wow, this is really impacting my life, then go to pro and then go to business. And business is really nice, especially if you have teams. So what I want to do now is just jump on over to Wunderlist and we will actually use it. So this is the inside of my Wunderlist account, and the nice thing about the inbox is where you can actually email and forward emails to your inbox. So if you email me, so me at wunderlist.com, once you have an account set up, it doesn't work unless you have things set up. But once you have things set up and you email that, it'll go into the inbox. And then you can simply go in the inbox and drag and drop it into a specific folder. So for example, we had a list called Thanksgiving dinner. And as you can see here, if we double click it here, we can actually see on the right hand side gravy, or let's say for example mac and cheese. We can assign it to a specific person, and we can invite people to our list. We can set a due date. So you can say, I want to have mac and cheese made by the 30th. Now the nice thing about this is that if you have something that's consistent. So for example, let's say for example mac and cheese is consistent every single week or every single bi-weekly, then what you can do is you click the drop down menu and it says repeat every day, every week, every month, every year, or custom. So we can even do custom and say every 7 days or even every 6 days. So every 7 days we get a reminder that it's due every single week. And then we can click remind me, set a specific date. You can add subtasks, which is really nice. So this allows you to break things down. So let's change maybe mac and cheese to something realistic. Say for example, project A. And then you can add subtasks, and you can say subtask 1, subtask 2, subtask 3. And the nice thing about that is that before you just check this off, you can say, okay, I've actually done this one and this one. Now you see whenever I check it, there's a ding sound, and in addition to that, you can see this is actually a progress bar. So subconsciously this is motivational, because when we check that, we can see that the progress bar has gone all the way to the end. And you can also add notes. So if I want to click this here, I can actually add more notes in here. Now if I'm collaborating with somebody, they can also come in and add notes as well. And this is very convenient to have, but like I said, as you begin to add more tasks and more tasks and more projects, you will realize that it's actually harder to organize a bunch of notes within Wunderlist. Wunderlist is good with checking tasks off. Now, the nice thing about it is you can also add a file. So you can click add file, find the file, and it'll actually upload it to Wunderlist. Or if you have really big files and you want to really organize things, I'd highly recommend that you go and use Dropbox, because you can actually click Dropbox here and it'll integrate with your Dropbox to Wunderlist. You can find the file and attach the file, and there you go. So if anything were to happen to your Wunderlist account, you still have your Dropbox files. So I'm a big believer in backup files, and that's definitely something that you want. Another thing is you can add comments here. You can say subtask 2 was complete. Something of that nature, just to tell you and let you know, remind yourself. And if somebody is collaborating with you, you can actually discuss within the chat box itself as well. So that's very, very convenient. If you click show complete to-do list, you can actually see all of your to-do lists. So that's motivating as well. Now, when you're ready to actually create a new list, you click on create new list at the very bottom left-hand corner, list name, and then you basically just enter the list name. So let's say, for example, that we are creating building project A. And then you can add the list members here, email addresses of the people that you want to collaborate with, and click save. And you'll notice down here, this list has been created. So building project A, we can, categorize that, or we can even create a list specifically for, events, personal events. Now here's a nice thing. So we say event 1. And another cool trick is that if I do event 1 due tomorrow, you'll see that it automatically sets the due date to tomorrow. And I can remove this. I can also prioritize as well. So let's say event 2, event 3, and you can prioritize. Let's say that we realize that event 1 and 3 are the most important. So we click this here and the little flag will actually move it up. So 1 and 3 are most important. And of course we can always move it around however we wish. So when you're done, you just click on the checkbox and it'll make a ding sound, and it's quite motivational when that happens. So actually having subtasks really help, and actually very subconsciously motivating. Now, as you can see up at the top here, you can duplicate lists, you can email the list to someone, you can print the list yourself so you have a paper copy of it, and of course you can delete lists as well. So as far as that goes, it's very powerful. I like its updates. It'll tell you what has been updated. If somebody has been chatting with you, it'll tell you right up here as well.